stood there, staring at the containment chamber, my heart racing. The sterile walls seemed to close in around me, and the faint hum of the fluorescent lights above echoed in my ears. They told us to stay calm, to remember our training, but nothing could prepare me for the reality of SCP-008. I remember the first briefing. They described it as a complex prion, something that shouldn't even exist on this planet. The symptoms hit fast. 3 hours from exposure to total devastation. I could still hear DeWright's voice, cold and clinical, detailing how the infected would experience confusion, violent behavior, and then, the worst part, a craving for flesh. I never thought I'd be part of the containment team. I thought I'd be behind a desk analyzing data, not standing on the front lines of an outbreak. But here I was, an untrained researcher, thrust into the chaos. I caught a glimpse of the containment unit through the reinforced glass. A small vial, just a simple piece of glass, holding something that could unravel humanity. They said it was contained, but I could feel the weight of its menace even from this distance. 4 months of quarantine for any operative that leaves this place. 4 months of isolation, locked away from the world, all because of SCP-008. I could only imagine what it must be like for those who've been exposed. They said SCP-500 could cure it, but what if you didn't have access? What if the facility went dark? Shivered at the thought. Incineration and irradiation measures were the protocols, the last line of defense if anything went wrong. They drilled that into us over and over. If a breach occurred, we'd be ordered to carry out those measures without question. Stay calm, I whispered to myself, trying to drown out the dread that clung to my thoughts. But the truth was, I wasn't calm. I was terrified. Terrified of what SCP-008 could do, and terrified of what I might have to do to stop it. I could still hear the rumors circulating among the staff. They said the last team that went to check on the Russian facilities vanished without a trace. What if something had gone wrong there? What if SCP-008 had escaped? I took a deep breath, forcing myself to focus. I had a job to do. I needed to gather the data, analyze it, and find a way to ensure this thing stayed contained. But deep down, I knew the truth. No matter how much we learned, no matter how many protocols we put in place, SCP-008 was still out there, lurking just beyond our grasp. And if we weren't careful, it could turn from a contained threat to our worst nightmare. I took one last glance at the containment chamber, a silent promise to myself. I wouldn't let it come to that. I would find a way to stop it, even if it meant risking everything. After all, that's what we signed up for, right? To protect humanity from the things it couldn't understand. But as I turned to leave, I couldn't shake the feeling that we might already be too late.